educating to listen to Ayappan sir. And it also, now when you feel that, when Sachin Tendulkar comes to bat, he left nothing for the next player to come and play. So I'm very happy that, and also feeling very proud that I'm sharing my presentation along with Dr. Ayappan and Dr. Ninave sir. So all you know that I'm not a scientist or an authority on aquaculture, but I'm just a shrimp farmer and who is practicing shrimp farming from last 27 years. So thanks to the Kamgani University, Vice Chancellor Kilawala Saab, Smith and Dr. Patel for giving this opportunity to share my experiences with my fellow farmers of the country. So my presentation is a very short presentation of just 10 slides and mostly focusing on management strategies of shrimp farming in post-COVID-19. You all know that, mankind had seen many disasters, many natural calamities, and COVID is also one of them. So even in 27 years of my shrimp farming, we have seen 3-4 floods in Gujarat and also earthquake. But generally what happens, if there is any calamity region or country specific, it doesn't take the toll of the entire world economy. But looking into last 45-50 days, it seems that now life and livelihood both has come into a very insecure equation. And that's what I want to start with my first slide, saying that if soon we find a cure, I think nothing is going to change in this world much. But if not, then everything is going to change in this world. And then if you talk about specific shrimp farming, we should also see the pre-COVID and if you want to make a strategies of post-COVID. So if you see, now there is a new norm for the world. Now people will remember the world not before Christ or after AD. Now people are going to remember this world before COVID and after COVID. So let me tell you that the scenario in 2009, which is pre-COVID in shrimp farming in our country, with immense hard work of all the entire industry people and the fraternity of entire shrimp farming, it took us almost 3 decades from growing from 55,000 tons of shrimp from Monodon era, and now Venami era. We are already one of the lead producers in the world, where we produce more than 8 lakh tons of shrimp. We have a 38,000 crore shrimp export, which is one of the very strongest commodity to export. And then also, when we talk about aquaculture, there are 4 important segments of it: is seed, feed, farming, and the export. So seed production also is 75 billion last year, and feed production is almost 1.8 million ton, with an average national FCR of 1.7. So let's first talk about the seed, the hatchery scenario. In India, you can see that total seed production is my video is also seen?
Yeah, it is clear, very clear.
Yeah. And the total seed production in India last time, Venami, is 75 billion. And broodstock, what happened, this post lockdown scenario, when suddenly the India was geared up. We have to understand shrimp farming in India largely has a season starting from February and it ends at October, November. So mostly all over India, it is operational for only 8 months. So looking that the industries, especially the hatchery people, they gear up the planning right from December by importing the broodstock as per their specific requirement of 2 to 3 months. So if you see last year, the total broodstock, especially Venami, was imported close to 64,000 numbers. And this year already, that numbers have came in December and January. And that will be only, can be able to supply till mid-May. Now during lockdown, the sudden lockdown decision has disrupted each and every communication. Even the roads, the transports, the national, the international flights and everything. And India is mostly dependent upon the imports of these exotic species brooders. So the biggest question right now in hatchery section is the short supply of brood stock. And second major thing is brood stock with live feeds supply, because the gonadic development, the maturation is largely affected by the live feed supply. And then sudden lockdown disrupted in Andhra Pradesh, because Andhra is 70% of the shrimp production in our country, followed by rest of the country is almost like 30%, Gujarat, Orissa and West Bengal, and part of Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra. Now you see, when on 22nd March, when the national lockdown has been declared, there was not a proper knowledge for each and everybody, and the only regulatory authority was police. So fisheries was not on a priority in the essential commodity. So nothing was moving. And the hatchery division and all the hatcheries, we have almost 500 plus hatcheries, and most of them are catering, 90% of them are catering in Andhra Pradesh, East Coast. So the lack of this movement, when the seeds are available with the hatcheries, they have to drain 4 billion seeds. 4 billion seeds have been lost. And there is immense labor shortage and social obligations, because even village, there was a fierce psychosis, every management, every aspect. So the villages which were in the labor were not allowed to go to the hatchery, and those people who were working in hatchery was not allowed to come back to the village, because they were a fear of getting contaminated with this thing. And also, when suddenly the lockdown was declared, there was a lot of uncertainty among the farmers whether they should continue the stocking or not. So most of the orders were cancelled, putting shrimp hatchery into a very difficult scenario. Then we talk about the next very important aspect is the feed. If you see, when I said India has last year produced 8 lakh tons of shrimp with an FCR 1.7, so the total feed production in our country has touched to 1.8 million tons. Pre-COVID, because of the fish meal prices and other ingredients, already the feed price has gone up to 10%. And during lockdown, the raw material availability and mobilization of this raw material, which is mostly depend upon the road transport, has come to an halt. So there was very uncertainty whether the feed millers will be able to supply the feed to the farmers. And again, I'm saying the entire sector, because it's very cyclic and it is interrelated to each and everything. When farmers are ready, then seed has to be ready. When seed is ready, then feed has to be ready. So this point of labor shortage and during lockdown has become a common phenomenon for each and every segment of life, right from your homemade to the factory workers. Everybody was locked down, and since most of the aquaculture is based on the rural side of the India, so the villages, especially, has gone into a very panic mode. And the workers' movement from village to the hatchery or village to the feed mill or village to the processing plant was completely halt. So feed is also come into a complete stop. And then we talk about the shrimp farming scenario. You have to understand that we have almost 1,20,000 numbers of farmers who are dwelling into 2 lakh hectares. Even in this 2 lakh hectare, you can say the scientific is somewhere about 1.6 lakh, and remaining 40,000 is the traditional belt of West Bengal. So in total, we can say that India is doing shrimp farming in 2 lakh hectare. And total shrimp production, as we said, it was touched almost 8 lakh ton. But here also, you can see the success. Right from Monodon era or to the Vename era, the overall success of Indian shrimp farming has moved around only 50 to 60% in between. Mostly is because of the diseases, the new emergent diseases. And this is a very important point where Dr. Ayyappan also said, and some asked the question, India, the biggest challenge India faces whenever we produce shrimp is that our dependency is purely on the foreign market. Maybe sometimes I feel that we have been now over victim of promotion of exports to the foreign market. Then, as the point is very clear that we have a very negligible domestic market. We cannot compare, and when we talk about aquaculture, we even cannot compare the fish market with the shrimp market. And since white spot and many other Vibrio diseases and all. But the major troubling since 2016 in Manami is white fecal disease and white gut disease. This has brought the profitability to almost 40-45% less. So even when the lockdown is declared, Andhra is 24/7. They always have some stock. The farmers always continue to do shrimp farming. So Andhra, when we say that even 20% of Andhra Pradesh farmers were having material, so it is almost like a 1.1 to 1.5 lakh ton they were having the material. And that sudden lockdown has created a panic. Processing plants shut down, even the ice plant shut down. There were some issues because winter crops were getting into the summer mode. So there was in East and West Godavari district, there were some incidences of ongoing white spot, and farmers were in a very distressed situation. They don't know what to do. So the many standing crops, the farmers have lost because they are not able to in a position to harvest. And looking into all this thing, there is a sudden drop of 50% farmers are planned not to go for the stocking. Now you can see this chart, shrimp farming scenario in 2019. We can clearly see that Andhra Pradesh holds a major share. Almost 71% of the shrimp which is produced in India comes from Andhra Pradesh, followed by West Bengal, almost 80,000 ton. Odisha 65,000 ton, Gujarat 45,000 ton, then 20,000 ton Tamil Nadu, and rest of the country shares the same. Now, we'll come to the last segment, that is shrimp farming scenario. You know that Seafood Export Association of India is one of the strongest shrimp processing association maybe in the world. And we have 612 processing plant with installed capacity 33,500 metric ton per day capacity. Now imagine India produces in a year almost 8 lakh ton, and see our installed capacity is already 33,500 ton processing capacity per day. So we are well beyond our capacity. We can still 10 times more we can process in India. And out of that 612, you can see 350 processing plants are very modern, well equipped, and with the EU approval and certification. India has total 649 cold storage also, and holding capacity with 4 lakh ton, almost 4 lakh ton, they can hold the capacity, frozen material. So in general, India total registered exporters are close to 1,519 in numbers. And in 2019, India exported shrimp worth 3,800 crore rupees. So this is the main, you can say, the backbone of all the segments in shrimp farming. Farmers are doing well, or the hatchery are doing well, but all depends upon finally getting the market, getting the profit realization, and everything comes down to the processing aspect. So COVID also, the same thing happened. As I told you, hatcheries were not able to work because of short supply, the transportation, labor mobilization. The same thing also has affected shrimp processing, because processing in an average, a single processing plant requires 250 to 300 laborers working 24/7 into 2 shifts. So labor mobilization has become a major aspects to shrimp farming, this one processing. And also, you understand, out of this 38,000 crore export and the 8 lakh ton exports, the major share comes from 70% shares comes from only USA and China. And you can see this next graph. You can see USA imports 46% of our Indian shrimps, followed by China 30%. Then EU, which was before China was almost 30%, has come down to 10%, followed by UAE, Japan, other parts. So you can imagine the Wuhan virus has erupted in China, and then finally it has devastated USA. So both the origin and the trouble, both these countries are severely affected by COVID. So there is very panic situation even among the processors, whether how the international market is going to open and going to how it's going to behave. It's very difficult to judge. So finally, coming to the all 4 segment scenario, I like to suggest some suggestions and which can be very helpful for the making the strategies. First, I will start with hatchery and seed production. See, Department of Fisheries, Government of India should ensure the continuous supply. When I was preparing this presentation, 2 days back only, RGC has opened the quarantine, and they are now waiting for the importing companies to send the broodstock to our country. So at least there will be no short supply, and there will be a continuous supply of broodstocks in coming May and June. But looking into this gap of 45 days, already hatchery has gone into deep trouble. They were having some broodstocks, but in the March 22nd lockdown, most of the hatcheries, they have to drain the very good quality seed, and there was a shutdown process for almost another batch, like 20-25 days. So, and also because of lockdown and the short supply of polychaete, the bloodworms and the live worms, which are very, very essential for the maturation and the gonadic development of the shrimp, has also given a very less survival of the broodstocks remaining with the hatcheries. So the government of India must ensure, because earlier if you see, farmers, shrimp hatchery people used to book the cubicle in quarantine, and the flight timing were very, very particular, the schedule. The broodstock used to come in time. But now it is the other way. Now there is a disruption in the flight schedules. No one knows what time it will take for the broodstock, the live broodstock, to come in the bag, because it has to reach Delhi and the quarantine at a short interval of the hours. So that has also become very difficult. Now that government has to ensure, now instead of booking the quarantine and waiting for the flight to come, now we have to go the reverse other way, because we have to see now which country and the time and which flights will come to Delhi, and that way it has to be adjusted. Even if you see our 12 years of record, whatever the broodstock has come to the quarantine, there is hardly 1 or 2 incidences of finding any disease positive. So maybe the Government of Fisheries Department can trust direct maturation sections of the shrimp hatcheries, and for a short period of time till the international flight becomes regularized, the hatchery operators should be given permission to use their maturation section with a officer to use as a quarantine. Then also need of the hour, we can see that there is a lot of dependency upon our broodstock imports. So there are few already planning to start in India, and the Government of India has given permission to do the broodstock multiplication center. But I insist that Indian broodstock, which will be to a tune of 80,000 to 1 lakh pair in near future. So we should have more broodstock multiplication centers in India, which will be very, very useful. And the need of the hour is SPS breeding and farming of polychaete worms, because we talk about so much disease occurrence and SPF programs and all, but sometimes what happens, we don't understand the very important link of feeding the live worm to the broodstocks. If these live worms, which are mostly collected from the wild open environment, can also contaminate the SPF broodstock. So it is a very, very important for the industry to have a very biosecured and disease-free shrimp farming. The need of the hour is to have a SPF breeding and farming program of polychaete worms. This is what is required. 3 very important points for the hatcheries to make a strategies during the COVID and post-COVID. And then also now we'll come to the next thing. We'll come to the feed production. There are more, 80-85% of the shrimp is produced in South Asia, and now Latin America, South America is almost contributing 12 to 15%. So, but if you see the geography, the demography everywhere, there are different ingredients used in that particular area as per the availability and suitability of the animals. So India, permission, we don't have much permission. We cannot use for GMO soya. But I think GMO soya and other protein source, animal protein source, with restriction to use only in shrimp and fish, should be permitted, because that will give a lot of freedom to formulate the feed with cost benefit ratio. There will be then reduction in the cost also. But right now, our over dependency on the fish meal is also creating a very, very big problem. And the second point, what I say is that there should be an exemption in import duties on the fish meal. Because once you see there is almost 10% of import duty levied on the import of the fish. And when there is a huge demand of fish meal, because of the lack of proper rules and regulation, there is a very indiscriminate fishing happens in India to support the fish meal production. So when we exempt these duties and a lot of fish meal can be freely imported in our country, we can also preserve our natural resources and indiscriminate fishing in our country. So this is a very important point for the feed millers to have a tax-free import on the fish meal and the other animal source protein. The research-based farming should also be done in India when it comes to edible insects and other protein sources, which are not right now considered as you can say, is unethical in India. Should be promoted to do research-based and scientific farming. Then it can be commercialized to support the animal protein into the aquatic feeds. Improvement in logistic and feed mobilization. This is now, if you see, because I told you I'm a pure farmer, and then I'll come back to that, because feed constitutes and contributes 55 to 60% of cost of production of the feed. Now, when I started shrimp farming in 1994, I will tell you the only thing which remained stable, almost stable, is the seed price. When I started 1994-95, that time also the monodon seed was as 50 paisa. Now also on average, if you see India, the Venami, SPF Venami seed, and Andhra maybe 30-35 paisa, and when including the transport, it comes to Gujarat by air, hardly is 50-55 paisa. So if you see 25 years, the only constant factor remain in our country is the seed price. But imagine the feed price. From 36 rupees, it has gone to now almost 90 rupees per kilo, and which contributes to 60% of the cost of production. Now, I remember when we used to produce shrimp in 2002 or 2003, our cost of production was hardly 210, 215 rupees. Now, same shrimp at 30 count in Gujarat, we need to spend almost 300 to 320 rupees for the production. So, when I'm addressing to this point, improvement in logistic and feed mobilization, and also minimizing the distribution channel, you see the feed, the dealer cost is somewhere about 75 rupees and the MRP is 93. So almost 23 rupees is been an extra burden on a primary shrimp farmer who is holding 1 pond, 2 pond, because the marketing channel is like that. Where I go to Ecuador and there, where the farmers are more than 100 hectare or 200 hectare individual farmers. So the feed is directly trucked to their farms at a factory price. So the efficiency of cost of production comes very high. Suddenly, if you imagine, you save 20 rupees a kilo, is a huge price for a primary producer. So I also think that government should look into these aspects, how they can effectively improve the logistic and feed mobilization in our country, especially to the areas like Gujarat, West Bengal and Odisha. I'm still audible to everybody?
Yes, sir. Very clear.
Okay, thank you.
Very clear.
Now
Yes, it's clear.
Now I'm coming to the third major point, that is shrimp farming. Now, if you see, as I said, 8 lakh tons of shrimp has been produced, and I'm very thankful to Government of India that they have seen earlier. You know, when I was getting into shrimp farming and the fisheries business. Even my father-in-law was not agreeing to give me the daughter, because he said, "Oh, what fishing you are doing?" You know, it was always had a stigma and disrespect to the business. Everything which is doubtful was considered to as fishy. But today I'm very proud to tell you that India has become #1 producer in the shrimp, and the government has seen that export potential and given a separate department in Fisheries Ministry. So I'm thankful to the government for glorifying our segment, the fishery segment, and we are feeling very proud of it. But here I will tell you that now I was attending a seminar of Confederation of Indian Industry. See, the target which has given for our farmers to double the production. As Dr. Ayyappan said, it is important to double the production, but this is the first time our Prime Minister has said we should double the income of the farmer. So friends, looking into the shrimp farming, because I'm into shrimp farming, so I'm telling, see, producing overproduction is never a profitable game for anybody. Now I will tell you, if you see the world market, 4.2 million ton is the world shrimp market, and you'll be surprised, India and Ecuador together are producing 14 lakh tons, almost 35-40% of the world basket. And surprisingly, both these countries have lack of domestic market, not even 95%, 5% domestic market. 95% is purely dependent. So even coming back to India, when we produce 8 lakh ton, and out of that, when 99% is dependent upon export, and such things happen, some natural calamity or unseen natural calamity, so the whole industry comes to a halt. Today, when I'm talking to you, I'm into the mid of the season, and right now Gujarat would have done 100% stocking. We have 12,500 ponds, but because of lack of seed transport, the airport closed down. It is not feasible to carry the seeds in truck from Andhra Pradesh because it cannot survive more than 18 hours of transportation. Only 35% farms have been stopped. Andhra already lost the crop. So farmers are in a panic situation. They don't want to do the crop. Same the story with West Bengal and Orissa. So my dear friends, those who are listening to this seminar, imagine last year shrimp farming has done 40,000 crore rupees turnover. If no farm is running, the entire wheel of aquaculture industry is going to be jammed. And already I can see if 30% farmers in all India, if they're going to do, means we are only going to produce somewhere about 3 lakh ton. There will be 60 to 70% reduction in the entire exports, and how big the toll will be. So I request, I appeal to all shrimp farmers that we should have an all-round year production. Like I request that, like for example, I have my own 200 ponds, so I don't go 200 pond at a go. I go every 40 days cycle, 50 ponds, so I can have almost like 8-9 month production in my farm. And as again I will repeat on the domestic market is the need of the hour. Imagine a one slogan has changed the fortune of the poultry industry. Sunday ho ya Monday, roz khai ande. The National Egg Coordinating Committee, the need of the hour. We have already, the government has given 7,522 crores of aquaculture infrastructure budget. But imagine, since we have NFDB, we have many MPDA, but a little attention has been given to promote shrimp in our domestic market. What it takes, maybe 5 crore, 10 crore to rope in a celebrity like Sachin Tendulkar or a good cricketer or a better film actor holding few shrimps in the hand and come out with a slogan. So I think the change will, in the blink of the eye. We have 136 crore population. Imagine 50% of them is 70 crore consume only 1 kilo shrimp. Who needs the export market? This 7 to 8 lakh ton shrimps will be consumed in India itself. So that can be a very, very big support to the farmers. Right now, everything is depending upon exports. They stop, the whole industry stops. So I think that is the very need of the hour. So India, this is the right time. Lockdown, if the people who are in the policy, who are in the government, those who are listening to me, I appeal to them. If you want to save this 50,000 crore rupees industry, domestic market is the need of the hour. And then I will come to also that Our farming system should not be single species dependent. You imagine 45,000 crore rupees of shrimp only depend upon single species vanami. We are losing our indigenous monodon. We are losing our indigenous indicus. Even government machineries, even the research institutes, scientists should think to at least we should have few species to support the sector. Otherwise, single species dependency is going to kill. Imagine today, COVID has come to the mankind. Like what spot has come to shrimp farming. Today, there is a DIV, the new emerging disease again coming and striking the China. What if that comes through the vanami? The industry will come to an halt. So the single species dependency is not good for anybody. So we should revive back, get monodon back. We should also revive indicus, and we should also do focus on freshwater shrimp farming. And then the fourth and final segment, which I'll come to, is like farming and processing. Now here I will tell you, in 25 years, not offending to anybody, but let me speak my very clear mind. Whenever we talk about processing and farmers in our India, we have a Chhattis Kakada. We say, no, like we fight with each other always, like an India-Pakistan battle. Farmers think that processors are making cattle, processors are making a group and trying to give the less price. Whereas the farmers think, the processor thinks farmers not doing shrimp farming into the best management practices, the use of antibiotics has to be stopped, blah, blah, food safety norms and all. But have you ever seen in last 20, 25 years, there is any joint meeting between processors and farmers? There is a healthy meeting, there is a seminar or like now webinar, nothing. The time has come that processors and farmers should sit not across the table. They should on the one side and come out with the differences and make up. Because this is a very important. I produce and they sell. If I cannot produce, they cannot sell. So it's so interdependent. We are opposite side of the same coin. If one side is bad, the coin will not run. खोटा सिक्का उसको करार दिया जाएगा. So I appeal on this platform. I appeal. This is because there are only 300, 400 top processors and there are 2 lakh numbers of farmers, but they are interdependent upon each other. So unless and until what the world demands requires, what the processor wants, that has to be nicely communicated to the farmers, and farmers should also equally respond to the international market demands. Then only this industry will thrive. Otherwise, if the differences are not solved, very recently last week I have posted on my social media that appeal to shrimp farmers that we should resolve our differences or come together. Or otherwise, it is inevitable. We have to die separately. So the need of the hour is that processors and shrimp farmers should be one. And then for the processing also, because we have seen since ages, since the shrimp farming era, India has been always supplying a frozen raw material, which has been taken to the foreign countries, thawed, reprocessed, and value added. So right now the government. And then when we talk about skill development and skill empowerment to the sector, I think this is the right time to give the priority to the direct value addition to the processing plant in itself in India. Why we are selling a base price and that same material goes to Vietnam, China, or other parts of the world and reprocessed, and that extra cream has been earned by that country people. So Indian shrimp farmers and even the processors should understand the worth of value addition. If you value add to our raw material here, there itself will be extra $1 to $2 extra profit, and that will further double our exports figure. So again in shrimp farming also, opening of domestic market will also help them, because today you will be surprised, most of the processors in our country are not surviving because they are making profit. Because they are surviving because government is giving them the export benefits. The duty drawback scheme and MEIS scheme is somehow they are surviving. Because if you see a major big processing house, they have to run with bank loan. When the bank loan are 9.6 to 10% on average, where you see 200, 300 processors on an average, their net profit ratio is below 5%. That's where government is giving them 6 to 8% extra incentive schemes for the exports. So the government should also understand this is a very important for them to also have the value addition segment, so further they can enhance their invoice value and come into a very profitable ratio. And even imagine if India consumes 4 lakh ton or 3 lakh ton in another 2-3 years, that 3-4 lakh ton processing will be an add-on processing benefit to the small processors, and this will be very, very helpful. And then finally, I'll come to the suggestion and strategies for the government of India, because these 4 segments we have covered. Now I will come to a coastal aquaculture authority. Thanks to the government of India for forming this coastal aquaculture authority as a regulatory body, and which has done and licensed and everything to the shrimp farming and has revived shrimp farming back. But right now, I'm feeling a little problem because of the licensing renewal process. Now imagine they have a very coastal aquaculture, have a very limited staff. We can count that staff number. But shrimp farmers are almost 1,25,000 numbers of shrimp farmers. On average, if they hold 2 pond, 3 pond also, we have to handle 2 lakh hectares. Almost scientific culture is 1.5 lakh hectare. 1.5 lakh hectare every 5 years. Getting that file routing through the district land committee, the state land level committee, and finally going into the coastal aquaculture authority office. Can it be humanly possible to renew almost 1.5 lakh licenses? So now I think the time has come that government should think that directly the licensing renewal process and authority should be given to state fisheries. It should be district specific. So this will really help India. Now today I'm a shrimp farmer, and I got a license in 2010 itself. From monodon was converted to Vanami. But last 7 years, my application has been forwarded to district level committee and state level committee. But because the numbers are so high to scrutiny the each and every file, it has almost taken 7 years before it could have renewed. The second license has been expired. So Coastal Aquaculture Authority, such a good work, has come to bottleneck when it comes to renewal process. So I again urge and appeal to the government machineries that they should think, once the license is done, the renewal process should go through the local bodies and the state fisheries. Then also a very important point, right now we have a common GST all over India. And now see, one side we talk about food safety, one side we talk about best management practices. And nobody has cared even to see the essential chemicals which are required to use as a biosecurity in the aquaculture needs. Because the chemicals like minerals and bleaching powder and disinfectants were earlier out of VAT. Now today they are attracting 18% GST. So imagine when the face value is increased by 18%, the small farmer will try not to use it because it is beyond his budget. So what happens when you don't use the biosecurity products, if you don't use proper chemicals and disinfectants, you are going to invite disease to your own pond. It is like today when each and everybody is saying wash hand 10 times, use sanitizer, use mask. It is like that. The chemicals, the disinfectant, the biocides which are used in aquaculture, they are the preventive measures to prevent the disease coming to the pond. So I urge to the government that please they have to rethink on the GST, especially the aquaculture biosecurity products what they are using. Third very important point is that. Hello. Is somebody, can you mute that?
Hello. Please keep your mic. Please keep your mic mute, participants.
Hello. So coming to my third point, that now, for example, in the cost of production per kilo shrimp, the third highest contributor is the energy cost, the fuel cost. And now you will be surprised when I will tell you that Andhra, 70% of the shrimp where it is produced. Now I will tell you a simple calculation that each and everybody should listen to it very carefully. When I am saying Gujarat, for 30 count shrimp, we have to spend 300 to 320 rupees per kilo. Because our feed cost is 90 rupees. Our seed cost is 60 paisa. our medicine cost is 40 rupees per kilo and the fuel cost is 45 rupees a kilo, because our per unit cost in Gujarat is 8 rupees per unit. And imagine Andhra, it is only 2 rupees. Because government has its state specific power tariff plans. But when we talk about India shrimp production, we are talking 8 lakh ton shrimp produced in the country, 5 lakh 5 lakh to 5.5 in Andhra Pradesh and 2 to 2.5 lakh in rest of the country. Imagine when the cost of the Andhra shrimp producer, when they get 30 paisa seed, they get feed 70 rupees and power tariff only 2 rupees. So their cost of production will be 70 rupees down than the Gujarat. So how in a common India, when 70% of the production comes at 70 rupees better cost, so they have an extra profit margin, they can go 20, 30 rupees lesser than the price during the crisis. But imagine what is going to happen with Gujarati farmers, what is going to happen with West Bengal and Orissa. They have to sell below their cost of production and virtually they will be out of the business. So I appeal to the fisheries new ministry that there should be a uniform power tariff policy for aquaculture pan across the India. So we can control the cost of production. Otherwise only one segment of one state farmers will benefit and other state farmers will go out of the business. And also we've been talking from 30 years that aquaculture especially should bring under the agriculture status to have the benefits at par. But it's still going on in debates and only in debates and in consideration, but nothing happened so far in 35 years. So this is the right time, that this government has formed a special ministry. So aquaculture should get the agriculture status. And when we talk about the National Bank, I'm very sorry. This is not a forum to complain, but I just want to tell people across country, when we talk about NABARD, how many shrimp farmers have got the benefit from NABARD? All the schemes are just on papers. So today, I'm going to tell you a fact that Gujarat, we produced almost 40 to 45,000 tons of shrimp with a turnover of 2,500 crore rupees. Can you believe? 95% of them are self-financed. Where is the banking sector? Who are we giving loans and credit benefits to the farmers? Nothing. So might be the same story across India. Today you will be surprised, 90% of the shrimp farming in our country is sponsored through dealers credit scheme. Even hatchery, feed millers, they are taking some risk to give the farmers supply. But imagine, this is I'm having an open forum talk. 80% of the shrimp industry is self-financed. Only processors, feed millers might be getting a huge bank loans and some, but I'm talking specifically farmers. 80% of the farmers in this country run on their self-finance or the finance through the dealers or distributors. So this is a very need of the hour. And and again I'll telling you, because shrimp farming is done in last 30-35 years. Government has done initially to boost the sector. They had come out with very good basic schemes of subsidy by giving 50,000 rupees for the pond construction cost, some subsidies on electricity, areas, even to feed and imports. But to cater to the 50,000 crore industry, the fragmented and so much unit distributions of subsidy time has come to alter the schemes now. Now we should have that much crores and crore rupees as given subsidy every year has to come to alter to a scheme where it should be benefit. We can come up with some, as I mentioned, which had come up with scientific farming, funding farming for the Polykit, the SPF program. Maybe we can fund them some new multi-trophic aquaculture systems rather than giving 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 subsidies per hectare. I don't think that is needed now, because if you see the capital cost and the working cost of 1 hectare, to develop a 1 hectare is required 12 lakh rupees, and to run that 1 hectare with 5 ton production required another 15 lakh rupees. So once a farmer can do that 30-35 lakh rupees turnover, I think it will hardly depending upon this 20, 30, 40,000 subsidies. But altogether, these crores of rupees can be utilized for the betterment of aquaculture by getting it rightly focused on infrastructure development. And then again, same thing like National Fishery Development Board is there, MPDA is there. So again, I'm appealing to the government that even you'll be surprised that 50,000 crore rupees export. Out of that, 80% export benefit is given back to the exporters to a tune of 3,500 crore rupees. Imagine that 3,500 crore rupees and another 1,000 crore rupees in subsidies, state subsidies, 4,500 crore rupees every year we are sending to giving back to the industry to support the industry. But imagine this government of India.
Yeah, excuse me, participants, please keep your mic off.
Last slide, just 5 minutes, please. The government of India should really.
Prem Kumar, please keep your mic off. Mr. Prem Kumar.
I appeal to the government of India that immediate attention should be given to the domestic market segment, and there should be a special fund like a National Egg Coordinating Committee, so we can all come together. If not that, even I appeal farmers that they can form a national committee and contribute to that fund to self-finance a campaign which can support the industry to develop into our own country. And last, from 27 years, I'm into shrimp farming, and I very strongly believer of that, because when people say that aquaculture has a risk, especially shrimp farming, here I want to tell to the world, when I passed out from CIFE, I came to Surat in 1994 with the stipends of CIFE, 600 rupees in my pocket. And today, if there is a risk, we could have not developed a 2,500 crore rupees industry in Gujarat. So I appeal to shrimp farmers of the India that this is a very, very good time for you not to get panic, because whether we are locked down in or out, the food is the basic need of the life. And those farmers, those industry people, those who are listening to me right from the shrimp seed, feed, processing, I tell them on a very positive note, okay, whatever the feedback right now, I am also the president of Gujarat Aqua Feed Dealer Association and vice president of the Aquaculture Association of Gujarat. So a lot of farmers are in touch with me, and I'm getting a very positive feedback from last 20 days that the fish in Gujarat, Katla Rohu, the IMC, which were not getting 80 rupees price ex-farm, today you'll be happy that they are getting 250 rupees price ex-farm. There is a huge demand and shortage of fish supply in Gujarat. Second thing, the shrimp, which was 80 count, 100 count, was not able to sell at 250. You'll be surprised, right now 2 ton, 3 ton daily going into the market at a price of 500 rupees a kilo. So dear friends, don't miss these golden opportunities, because God has given us the chance that we are the soldiers where we produce the food. This is also one kind of a national service to protect the food security in our country. So for me, all my 200 ponds I'm in. I already stocked my 100 pond, and next 15 days I'm going to stock. Food is ultimate life giver, and that is going to be in demand. So we have to plan very correctly. And I can see that this COVID will definitely, there is always disaster, and some opportunities also come. So I see which has not done in last 30 years. Post-COVID, India can see a very huge upsurge in the domestic consumption, which will benefit the industry in future and for the longer run. And finally, I want to close down my presentation with a note that I personally believe that aquaculture has the potential to feed the mankind. Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Manoj Sharma sir, for wonderful sharing his views, and thank you. Now session is open for discussion.
Thank you. This is Shyam Sundar Pal. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Manoj sir. This is Shyam Sundar Pal from Gujarat. And basically, I want to tell one thing, sir. One small statistics we have to understand, sir. Including Bengal, Odisha, and Andhra and Tamil Nadu, this east coast, the maximum, and west coast. Just this, if we make the coastal line, this coastal line maximum consuming the seafood or shrimp or fish maximum. So if you see the statistics, it will not more than 20 crore. If it means 20 crore people regularly basis, they are taking fish or shrimp, whatever it is, 20 crores. if you see the number 20 crores
Yes, yes.
in pan India. So, sir, my concern matter is this: if we take as a pilot project, like if we increase every year only 5 to 7 crore people to take extra, means they should start consuming at least 100 gram per week. So the figure will come around 4 to 5 lakh ton per year extra. So we have to focus the middle of India, the middle market of India, from Kashmir to up to Kanyakumari, the middle portion of India, the
I got you.
small
I
markets.
understand what you're saying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But
Yes,
Shyam
sir.
Sundarji,
Yes, sir.
that's what I'm
Sir.
telling.
Yes,
Somebody
sir.
has to take the effort.
Yes, yes, yes,
See,
yes, sir.
today, the Sunday हो या Monday, रोज खाएं अंडे. Before
Yes, sir.
you just see the sales of eggs before this slogan, and 5
Yes,
years
yes.
after that slogan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely,
Shyam
definitely,
Sundarji,
sir.
on the same line, I'm appealing to the government and all to the farmers. If government cannot do, why all farmers are losing so crores and crores of rupees? If imagine 2 lakh farmers gives 1,000 rupees also to this account, there will be 20 crore. 20
Yes, sir.
crore
Definitely.
rupees to
Yes.
promote. And what
Yes,
we
sir.
have to promote? अरे बाबा आज फेसबुक है, लिंक्डइन है, सोशल मीडिया है, 8 लैंग्वेज में तमिलनाडु, तेलुगु, उड़ीसा, बंगाली, गुजराती, मराठी, हिंदी, इंग्लिश, सब जगह एडवर्टाइजमेंट कर दो ना कि श्रिम्प खाने के
Definitely,
बेनिफिट
definitely,
क्या
sir.
है.
Definitely, sir. Definitely.
आज हम see every year we are spending 5,000 crore rupees to support the industry. Why not this extra 10-20 crore rupees budget?
Yes, definitely. And
That will revive the industry. If we see the when government of India can spend this incentive scheme of 3,000 crore rupees every year, why they are not now? Why NFDB is not thinking? Why nobody is thinking? Why let's have a campaign. तुम
yes,
छोटा मोटा फिश फेस्टिवल करो, रीजनल फेस्टिवल करो, उसका ठीक है, that's all good. But there should be a mass campaign. See,
definitely,
today,
sir.
Shyam Sundarji, you will be surprised. 80% of doctors, MBBS, MD doctors, they think the shrimp has a bad cholesterol.
My God.
Where the fact is that shrimp is having very good cholesterol.
Good cholesterol with omega
But
3 and omega
imagine
6 fatty acids.
when see, you imagine the fate of the country when 80% of doctors themselves think that shrimp is bad to eat. Shrimp is very good compared to red meat. It is a wholesome food. It has all fat soluble vitamins, minerals, everything.
Yeah.
So that
Even
is
the,
where I am appealing. See, today, if anything, this time which can help is the only domestic market.
definitely, sir.
Thank you, Shyam Sundarji. Thank you.
No, definitely, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Good morning, friends. This is Mehbul Khanki. I'm Deputy Director Planning for Gujarat Fisheries. I want to take this opportunity to thank Kamdenu University to bridge the gap between the industry and the academia. What Manoj Bhai just shared with all of us are very pertinent and relevant points, which actually needs a lot of consideration and efforts. So there are miles to go. But one thing which I would like to share from the bureaucracy side or from the government side is that unless there is a unified body looking after the interest of an industry at a national level, right? There will be fragmented efforts of policy intervention and which will not yield the desired results. So I suggest, at least from opinion leaders like Manoj Bhai and other dignitaries, to have a unified body of the industry which comprises of farmers, the producers, the exporters, and the academician.
Here I want to tell all the participants, Mehul ji.
Ji.
See, Abhi, we are just discussing about the policy or the government issues. But I'll tell you,
right.
I'll tell you to all the audience also. Ki Mehul ji is recently I met him as one of the very, very good and dynamic officers we are lucky to have him in our State Department Fisheries. But Mehul ji, I will just like to tell you one thing. See, we have 9 maritime states.
Right.
And today when I came to Gujarat in 1994, was today Gujarat has become per unit production in terms of quality, quantity, the number one in the world in shrimp production. I'm
No,
talking not
actually-
in numbers, but I'll tell you, this is because big credit goes to the Gujarat state fisheries policy, the single window policy. I'll tell you here, audience, please listen to me very carefully. Today we talk about Andhra Pradesh 70%, but you'll surprise 99% of Andhra shrimp farms are in own private lands. Whereas Gujarat, 99% is the land given by a government, the state which was having a taboo of vegetarianism. So the big credit, big applaud goes to the state fisheries technical officers and government of Gujarat Fisheries Department that they have done a very single window. I think 9 other maritime states should follow this. See, जो काम इतना अच्छा गुजरात में हो रहा है, दूसरे स्टेट में क्यों नहीं? See, my next neighboring state, I was born and brought up in Maharashtra. But you see, there is no policy, there is no land allotment proper policy in Maharashtra. And last 20 years, the land has not been allotted in Maharashtra. Goa, nothing is happening. Karnataka, nothing is happening. So same way, I'm urging on domestic market. See, because if Gujarat can do what other not maritime states cannot do. So this is what a policy decision, as Mehul Taki is saying, it just there should be a national body who should look into how positive development of Gujarat. They can take all the good points of Gujarat. They can take all good point of Andhra Pradesh and other states and put into for the large scale benefit of the industry. Thank you so much, Mehul ji, for listening
Pleasure.
to me.
It has always been a pleasure. We are actually thankful to opinion leaders and
Hello?
industry leaders like Manoj Bhai.
Hello.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you already. I'm
Hello.
listening to you.
Okay. So we are always thankful to
Hello,
the
myself, Dr.
opinion
Hassan.
leaders and industry leaders like Manoj Bhai. The only input over here is there needs to be a coherent pan-India policy interventions on lot of valid points that Manoj Bhai raised of promoting domestic consumption, lesser dependence on exports, value addition. So I see this as a welcome beginning where academics, industry, farmers, the government are on the same platform, to come to a conclusion on to the future policy interventions. I wish everybody, including Smith, Dr. Kelawala, heartfelt congratulations, because this is the beginning, and I wish everybody to stay safe and secure during this COVID pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you, Mehul sir.
Hello. I am audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Manoj sir, namaskar. Vivek Srivastava बोल रहा था sir.
Hello, Vivek. How are you, dear?
Sir, fine, sir. Sir, thank you for this wonderful presentation. Sir, मेरा एक दो questions हैं sir. If you can please. Sir, actually, you know better fisheries sector in Gujarat really more than us. And sir, few farmers, they are, and like I'm also looking at in news. So if you see during COVID and post-COVID, and now recently we come to know that there will be relaxation and all this thing. But still, people, means the ground reality is this, that shrimp trucks and this transportation is the issue. So marginal farmers, they are reluctant to harvest because they don't have their labor. They wanted to go back to their places. At the same time, if at all, जो marginal farmers है या थोड़े बड़े medium farmers है, वो harvest अगर निकाल भी ले from their that ponds, and so where they are going to keep. Sir, this direction means in this direction means what you will suggest, like for marginal farmers and for medium farmers, what they have to do in this condition when they are not in conditions to harvest their crop, at the same time to sell their crops, at the same time, due to transportation barriers, due to market barrier, due to hotels barrier. So please throw some light on this aspect, sir.
Vivek, I will tell you, whenever something bad happens,
Sir.
so definitely it's a human nature. We try to find a rescue and try to plan out something. But when we are into a webinar and when so many people are listening to me, I have a very different opinion in this. See, we have seen many disasters, many floods. I have gone through that. Yes, I do agree with you. In certain circumstances, sometimes the primary product producers get maximum hit. I'll give you an example of the poultry. Poultry is a very short cycle. Okay, it is just 40 days cycle. So the moment the news came, the virus is transmitting through eating meat or the poultry or the seafood, so people restrain to eat from 2-3 weeks. And today you will be surprised, the poultry industry got a hit of 80 lakh crore rupees.
Yes,
अरे
sir.
भैया लोग बर्बाद हो गए पोल्ट्री के. लेकिन I will tell you a very positive note. Those people who has thrown away the chicken at 40 rupees below kilo or on the roads, that same chicken after 1 month you are not able to get at 500 rupees a kilo.
Yeah, that's true.
But luckily in aquaculture sector we are blessed. The shortest cycle is shrimp farming. Shrimp farming has 120 to 150 days cycle. So we can, in such a disaster, we can still continue growing the crop for 5 months, no problem. And fish, you know, Vivek, fish has a minimum harvesting cycle is to 12 to 14 months. And fish can, given condition, fish cannot be harvested up to 2 years. So where is the situation we are getting panic?
No, sir. I just wanted to ask, like, those who are close to the harvest, like, this
But
season
that's what
started.
again I am coming back to you. See, I never believed in government should give a common facility, common storage, common processing plant. Okay, once the problem is over, who are going to manage that common processing plant? Who are going to manage the common cold storage? Because if you don't run the common facilities, it will rot in 3 months. See, if you see the fish harbors, many common facilities are rotting in our country. So see what today I will tell you what people can learn from me what we have done. I was having a shrimp ready to harvest because I know now I cannot hold. So, but because already Gujarat, we have 7 processing plant in Gujarat. I just called them, waited for 10 days. The moment collector issued that fish and shrimp can be transported inter-district, we had a special pass. I harvested my pond and processed the material in the processing plant with a mutual agreement with him कि भाई जो rate खुलेगा वो आपको मिलेगा. So we have to. That's what I'm telling you.
No, sir,
Very categorically, I told कि processors and shrimp farmers should be on one side rather not on the opposite side fighting with each other. See,
No,
I
that's
told
true,
you
but-
already told you Vivek. If you see my data, we already have a 4 lakh ton. हम 8 लाख टन की बात कर रहे हैं भैया. हमारा पर डे 35,000 टन का प्रोसेसिंग कैपेसिटी इंडिया में. But we are not rightly utilizing because we don't have a proper what you say a business understanding and trust among processors and primary producers.
Yes, sir. Sir, on this note, sir, actually just a small answer I just required from your side.
Please.
Sir,
Please.
like I was talking about like marginal farmers. Like you told that you were having a pond which was about to harvest, and after that you called processing plant guys, and they just some mutual understanding happened. But what suggestions you will provide to the marginal farmers, those who don't have that processing plant accessibility? At the same time, they don't have, they're in a pakka lockdown condition. Means what they have to do, they have to keep their in the pond, or any suggestions for them, sir?
Vivek, very thank you for pointing out this. A very good question because but one thing you understand the situation right.
Sir.
We had a lockdown March 22.
Yes, sir.
Except Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Orissa, West Bengal. This February, March is their seeding season. So 90%, 99% ponds are already empty.
Yes,
There is
sir.
no question of harvest. There is no question of harvest.
Yes,
And
sir.
hundreds and hundreds of processing plants are already in Andhra Pradesh. You see Andhra Pradesh, every 10 kilometers there are 2 processing plants. See, Andhra Pradesh, we had the news that farmers have thrown away the material on the road. 100 rupees कोई दे रहा नहीं है, 200 rupees नहीं दे रहा. भैया आज की न्यूज लो. The same 100 count is for 300 rupees a kilo.
Yes.
See, we have to only understand कि आप suddenly खेत में से पूरा टमाटर निकाल के रास्ते पे रख दोगे तो कौन लेगा भैया? See, farmers also has to understand कि सबसे पहले, if you maintain your farm correctly, because it's a livestock, So don't get into panic mode, डरो मत. इसीलिए
Means,
पहले से इसीलिए प्रोसेसर से रिश्ता पहला बना के रखो. आप अचानक किसी के घर पे जाके मदद नहीं मांगते जब तक आप किसी को जानते नहीं हो.
Right, sir.
इसीलिए I'm
Means,
saying this is the right time for processors and farmers to come under one umbrella to shout out the differences and plan for such situations in the country.
Yes, sir. So, sir, means marginal farmers should not harvest at the moment. Time will change.
Right now, Andhra already pricing are going up. The regular harvest has been started. When coming back to West Bengal, Orissa, again Gujarat and Maharashtra, very few farmers has the stock, and already demand is increasing. I will give you a very good example of Maharashtra. अपने अजीत पाटिल साहब है.
जी सर.
उनके पास 50-60 टन माल है. मेरी उनसे रोज बात होती है. मैं उनको बोला सर एक प्रोसेसर 320 रुपए में देने तैयार है. तो उन्होंने बड़े प्यार से मुस्कुराते हुए बोला कि मैं लोकल रोज का 400 रुपए में बेच रहा हूँ. Because that is where people should be very positive in taking an advantage in this situation.
Yes, sir.
जो डर गया वो मर गया.
जी सर.
Thank you,
sir. Thank you, sir.
अच्छा होगा तुमने मुझे दाढ़ी में भी पहचान लिया.
I think Dr. Syed Hasan sir is having some questions, sir. हाँ, Syed Hasan.
हाँ, डॉक्टर सैयद साहब बोलिए.
हेलो शर्मा जी, नमस्कार.
नमस्ते सर.
नमस्ते सर. ये पंजाब shrimp market nowadays, what is the conditions and situations, and what challenges is necessary for the shrimp aquaculture production in Punjab?
थैंक यू डॉक्टर साहब. मैं एक्चुअली आपने बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन पूछा. मैंने आपका मैसेज भी पढ़ रहा था. आपको शायद ताजुब होगा कि मेरे बहुत ज्यादा सेंटिमेंट्स हरियाणा पंजाब फार्मर्स के साथ थे. बिकॉज जब AK रेड्डी साहब थे वहां पर और हरि कृष्णा जी थे, वी वर द फर्स्ट टू डेमोन्स्ट्रेट श्रिम्प फार्मिंग इन रोहतक.
जी.
और बहुत मुझे आश्चर्य होता, ताजुब होता कि हरियाणा के जितने किसान लोग हैं, जो जाट समुदाय के लोग हैं, वो लोग जिस पॉजिटिविटी से, जिस मेहनत से श्रिम्प पकाते हैं, सब लोगों का हौसला अफजाई करना चाहिए. अब रही बात आपका जो the question what you asked me.
जी.
See the major hatcheries are in the east coast. Ab now March April is the main season. Dr. Prabhajit Singh is also in touch with me on the group. He regularly communicate with me. So इसमें ऐसा है डॉक्टर साहब कि अभी आपके वहाँ सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है to how to get the seed. Because दिल्ली एयरपोर्ट, सब एयरपोर्ट्स बंद हैं. The biggest problem for you, Andhra, for Haryana and Punjab farmers is that lack of transportation, air transportation has become the biggest bottleneck to transport the seed. I am very hopeful कि आने वाले 15-20 दिन में सब फार्मर शुड कम टुगेदर. देखो उसमें क्या होता है कि अभी सूरत का एग्जांपल आई विल टेल यू. SpiceJet is offering us a cargo flight. For that, they need 2 crore seed booking. So 2 crore seed booking with 15 paisa extra, the farmers are giving 30 lakh rupees for a special flight. That's where Surat seed is coming. So like that, if possibly convey my message to Haryana and Punjab shrimp farmers, they can approach SpiceJet and Hatchery Fellow.
Yes.
कि एक साथ फ्लाइट चंडीगढ़ आ जाएगी and everybody will get the seed. And everybody will get the seed. So
that's very good thing.
So 50-60 farmers can come together with 2 lakh seed stocking. 1.5 crore 2 crore seed हो जाएगी. So they will not waste the valuable. If Haryana Punjab farmers miss this May June stocking, then their harvest will come in winter and which will trouble them.
Okay, sir.
So what our association is doing, that we all are coming together and chartering the flight to bring the seed to Gujarat. This mode can be done in Punjab and Haryana. So Chandigarh is the border center for them.
Yes, sir.
And almost 1,000 to 1,500 acres has been already developed there. These people can bring 4-5 slots of good seed.
Yes.
And then feed transportation is not a problem. And even I am telling you, since the overall shrimp production in India will be down by 30-40% in the first 2 quarters. So Punjab and Haryana farmer can get at a good price in the domestic market. Expect very unbelievable price for shrimp, those who can cater to the local market.
अच्छा.
Thank you, Dr. Sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
सर एक्सट्रीमली गुड लेक्चर सर. इतना सुंदर लेक्चर रहा कि एवरीबडी हैज गेट अ चांस टू इंटरेक्ट विद मनोज सर. थैंक यू वेरी